Welcome to Season 2 of the Craft Beer Connoisseurs Podcast. I'm Chris, and if you're new to the podcast, we're three friends and a producer who like to showcase craft breweries and their beers. Also, we like to end every episode with a short conversation on a variety of different topics. If you're not new to the podcast, welcome back. We'll keep things similar to Season 1. After all, if it isn't broke, then don't fix it. Whether you're new or returning, please feel free to listen to all of our Season 1 content. And remember to follow us on Instagram at Craft Beer Cons, send a friend request on Untapped, or subscribe on YouTube at Craft Beer Connoisseurs. Also, drop a comment, like, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Now for today's episode. Welcome to the Craft Beer Connoisseurs. I'm Chris.
I'm Tyler.
And I'm Brent. Along with us today, producer Frank.
Hi, Frank.
Frank the Tank.
Oh,
Frank Abagnale Jr. Hit me if you can.
Frank Thomas.
There it is. We all got a Frank.
Just name all the Franks. Well, in today's episode, we're going to be reviewing Prince Eddy's Brewing Company, which is in Picton, Ontario.
Yes.
Nice.
We're finally venturing up to Prince Edward County, eh?
Yeah.
So we're having two beers today. The first is a Brass Monkey, which is a hazy pale ale with orange zest.
Nice.
And second is Sweet Talk Honey, which is a double IPA with vanilla, lactose, and, of course, honey.
Nice.
All right. And to finish up today's episode, we're going to be talking about some beer destinations that we'd like to visit.
All right. So, Prince Eddy's is located at 13 McStephen Drive in the town of Picton, like we mentioned, which is about 30 minutes southeast of Belleville and situated in the beautiful Prince Edward County. So the brewery is owned by Aaron McKinney, and with their head brewer being John Miniker, they officially opened their doors on May 19th of 2017.
Yes, yes. So McKinley pitched his dream of opening a brewery during a pint with his father in his hometown.
So beautiful.
Right. And after securing the finances with his whole family chipping in, then there was the whole, business plan, acquiring the building, renovating, installing equipment. And he also wanted to bring youth culture and appeal to a younger generation and customers who are laid back and accepting of everyone.
See, I'm taking a look at that, right? The coming up with the finances first, then the business plan. I'm kind of the other person that does it the opposite way. I'd come up with a business plan, then realize what the finances were going to be.
Yeah.
But I like that.
I feel as though it's worked out for him, right?
To each their own.
So as part of that, they were going to name it Prince Edward Brewing, but wanted to give it a little twist. So obviously Prince Eddy's is where we're at today.
Oh, that's a little bit of a twist.
Yeah.
Not much, but a little one.
So are we the younger generation who are laid back and accepting of everyone?
I think so.
I
We're
think
definitely
so.
accepting of everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm laid back.
Or young anymore. We're all over 30 now, so.
Well, yeah, we're not young, and I'm sitting up, so I'm definitely not laid back.
I feel like if you did lay back, you probably wouldn't be able to get back up.
No, that's true.
So the brewery itself is a 2-story building with a tasting room that overlooks the state-of-the-art brew house in the loft. Another kind of hip kind of term. Loft. And in the loft, you can play some ping pong and other games, right?
Yeah.
So along with that, there's a fair-sized patio offering anywhere between 8 and 12 beers on tap at any given time. Now,
Nice.
Prince
Good
Eddy's
selection.
is described as the ultimate playground. Along with that patio, as previously described, it has a beach volleyball court, outdoor kitchen, and a stage for live music.
It does sound like a pretty sweet playground,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, if you're into volleyball too,
Right? Yeah.
I mean, you are, Fife.
Yes. I can
Yeah.
play some volleyball. Haven't played it for a couple of years, though. Cool.
But you're really good.
But we're
you're-
getting back to it this year, that's for sure.
Yeah, probably the best guy on the team.
At least within the three of us, four of us.
Oh, I don't know. We've been down this road one too many times.
We want to go
before.
down. Well,
All right.
We'll discuss it later.
There it is.
So obviously, producer Frank, big fan.
Huge
of
fan.
Prince
Yes.
Eddy's. He's actually there as part of his summer vacation last year at Prince Edward County.
Oh, what a guy.
Yes. Obviously, I don't know how we didn't get the invite, but
I think it's because Frank went with his now fiance, so
Yeah.
maybe Prince Edward County had something to do with that.
maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
So I'll just go down the list of Frank's things that he would like to say. He would like me to say. I'll spit it out.
There you go. You got it.
So it's a 5-minute drive from Parsons, another big name brewery in the county, or Picton Golf and Country Club. and also a bikeable 3 kilometers if you so choose.
Depending who you're speaking to. 3 kilometers might not be so
Yeah, I
bikeable.
don't know.
That might be a hike for some
Is there
people,
a brewery in between, between that I can stop at? So there's a couple side streets off of the County Road 49, which run parallel with Picton Bay. And what would you take north to go to Parsons or the Picton Golf Course?
Okay.
Yes. So just so you know, you take that north.
Yep.
Pulling into the
Geography lesson.
Yes. Pulling into the parking lot, you drive by the patio and beach volleyball court. They also have a league, which is pretty sweet.
All right.
Brett would be the MVP.
Naturally.
Of game 2, of course. So the side of the building has Prince Eddy's name along with an image of a shaka, a Hawaiian hand gesture also known as hang loose.
Yeah.
At the entrance was an outdoor covered food bar called Slight Peppa. You got that. A Caribbean-style barbecue place serving up nachos, pork. He'd already eaten, so he didn't buy anything from there.
Oh, right.
Yes. Also, I don't think Caribbean-style food and producer Frank go together very well. So he walked into the brewery, thank God.
Finally.
I could just see him out there with a map. I feel like he's on his phone right now trying to show us on Google Maps, zooming in.
Yeah.
Okay, so you take this one north.
Yeah. Actually, looking at the Google map of the place, it was like a old garage or something like an auto body garage.
There you go.
I was like, that's not it. And I looked up, that's
This
it.
is an old Google Maps.
This isn't where I parked my car. Anyway, so walked into the brewery, a big open space with the bar straight ahead, maybe in the loft.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad he walked into a brewery and there was a bar there. There's some cushioned seating to the right. Not sure if it was more open due to COVID or if their picnic tables moved outside. He enjoyed a skateboard flight. I do remember seeing a picture of that.
Yes, I saw that on his Untapped.
Yeah, I was going to say his Instagram.
Well, maybe both.
Yeah. So he enjoyed a flight with Haze Brigade, which is the tasty New England IPA. Seek and Enjoy Dark Lager. So many friends. He was with one of them. It's actually New England IPA. And the Chin Dropper was a blonde ale.
Nice.
I'm going to let one of you guys speak now because that was a lot.
They used to call me the chin dropper in high school. So.
Because you had so many friends?
Yeah, that's exactly why. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hide and seek and enjoy.
Oh, man. Well, Brett, you mentioned the logo of Prince Eddy's, the hang loose hand sign. For those that know that. I just did it.
just
but
did
you can't see it.
Yeah, so everybody is watching you do it right now.
It was really well done.
Yeah,
Yes.
so that and the skateboard flight that we mentioned is something that the owner Aaron incorporated because of his time living out west. So obviously in Ontario there's not a lot of surfing opportunities, but living out west there's surfing, that skateboarding, it's more laid back, if you will. So he kind of incorporated that in his brewery.
Nice.
The body movements that are coming from you right now have me just.
He did the whole hang loose and then was like
And then he's
pretending to
moving.
surf.
Yeah, the body was flowing. I think it was unintentional.
Why is
but
this one not on YouTube?
This is golden.
I'm speaking with my body.
I sure do love it, brah.
Yeah, hang loose, brah. So Prince Eddy's is actually one of the only breweries, and I can know them for this, to put their value statement and code of conduct for all employees and customers online.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I like the transparency, right?
Absolutely.
And now, speaking of such, just transparency, none of us have gone except for producer Frank, right?
That's true, yes.
I don't even think I've been through Prince Edward County. I'm
I
offended
have
by
not.
their motto, the county, because I work at a different county. So
Yeah. We'll get into the conversation later about places and destinations we'd like to go for.
Yeah.
Might be one of them. Anyway, so
that's nice.
Now this is also kind of funny, is that all the employees who work either have to get a mullet, get a tattoo of a shaka, or drop in at the skate ramp.
Wow.
Okay.
Most choose option 3.
This is coming after, and I find this kind of ironic.
Yeah, me too.
Coming right after we just mentioned their value statement and code of conduct for all employees, customers to follow online. However, there's slight hazing if you could go ahead and get a mullet, a tattoo of a shaka, or drop it at the skate park. All right.
I mean, now that I have a tattoo, I feel as though getting a tattoo of a shaka wouldn't be that bad.
So could you just
I'd
get
probably get a mullet, though.
could you get a temporary tattoo?
Ooh, maybe.
Look at you looking at ways around it.
I
Yeah.
feel like we'd have to check their benefits package, because if they allowed for good healthcare, dental package, I would take the drop in the skate ramp because that's guaranteed time off for sure.
Or you could just say that you're going to get a mullet, because that obviously takes a lot of time, and then people just, where's your mullet? Oh, it's growing in. But
You're looking at the business at the front part. Take a look at the back.
Yeah, the party in the back is later.
All right.
Yes.
All right. We digress. So Prince Eddy's beer wise, they've actually have kind of the core 4.
Yeah.
Which is that chin dropper, right, which is the blonde ale. The So Many Friends, as previously mentioned. A cream ale, which is the tribute to the Wu-Tang Clan, and as well as the Haze Brigade. So those are the core 4 that they've got. Yeah.
Yes. So also Prince Eddy's is one of the only breweries to do this. They serve their higher ABV stuff, so anything like over 10%, in little chubby cans. Pretty sweet, if you will. So 200 milliliter cans, including, I've had one of them, the Little Scoop, which is a Neapolitan Imperial Stout. And they're just new release, Shenanigans, which is a triple IPA.
They also called me that in high school too, Little Scoop.
I was going to say Shenanigans.
I kind of hope people go back and like start finding out every time I've mentioned what they've called me in high school, which I think would just be a good kind of thing for the fans.
A lot of things.
Yeah,
probably.
I think the fans, whoever's the top fan, that'd be great to see.
He was also never late for high school. Never missed a day.
Never missed a day.
So on Untapped, there's 71 unique beers that they've created with over 21,000 check-ins for an average rating of 3.65. And Prince Eddy's was very nice. They sent us an extra 4 beers.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to talk here.
Yeah,
and the
go
reason
ahead,
why
do
is
it.
because you said at the very beginning of this segment that, after you got through the producers, I'm going to let somebody else talk. They have failed to do that. So they have sent 4 extra beers to us. The cream ale, as we've mentioned, obviously that's a cream ale. The Fast Eddies, which is a light lager, as well as that Haze Brigade, which is that New England IPA. There's also the Cocoa Dojo, which is an Imperial Stout.
Yep.
So we've got those 4 to try out as well. Not on the episode.
Right. So, in terms of beers that we have had from Prince Eddy's, Brett, you have had 7. Your highest rated was the Little Scoop that you mentioned, the Neapolitan Stout. I have to mention, I absolutely despise Neapolitan ice cream, so I don't think I would be giving that a 5.
I enjoyed it.
That's too bad.
Are you done talking? You're just like...
yeah, you can speak now.
Oh, am I allowed to?
Yes.
Oh, sweet. So the Little Scoop, literally actually did taste like Neapolitan ice cream. Strawberry, lactose dominated both the aroma and the flavor. It was freaking phenomenal.
Nice.
Well, it's good that it actually hit what they were trying
Exactly,
to get.
yes.
Right?
It hit all facets of what it was described as. Producer Frank, he also said 7, the highest being the Haze Brigade at 4.25. Tyler and Chris, this is your time to talk, boys.
You know what? I feel like I'm off the hook on this one, so I haven't had any. But I feel like, Chris, if this is the case, you might be golden sombrero on the next one because you've been 0-0-0 for a little bit on these.
Yeah, it's been a while. We should get another top fan to count how many in a row I've had 0 before going in. But I will say, Tyler, you and I have we talked about the Haze Brigade and the Cocoa Dojo. We would split those.
Yeah.
We just haven't had a chance to yet.
Well, it'd be nice to be invited over to a pool on a hot day, but
Pretty sure you got time now if you want.
so Prince Eddy's also, as many others do, bring in food trucks on the weekends as well. They also do a concert series of local musicians getting to play and having fun, maybe with the odd pint after their performance, probably during the performance too.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Which is good because you get this really cool atmosphere. I'm picturing in my head, you have the musicians, you have some food trucks, you probably have a volleyball game going on as well.
A couple missed serves to hit the person doing the concert.
Oh, yeah, Chris and I don't miss serves.
Yeah.
Frank doesn't miss serves too. That must just be a you thing.
spikes all day.
Okay. Speaking of delivery, no, okay. No segment there. Anyway, $30 minimum, a $5 flat local delivery rate, and free delivery on anything over $100.
You could have done that. You could have went with that transition, said, yeah, and they're also serving up delivery at. I mean, there was time. Come on, you got to get on that.
He missed it.
Yeah.
Well,
like my serve.
If you're in Prince Edward County, you can go to their tap room. Their summer hours are Sunday to Wednesday from 10 to 8 and Thursday to Saturday from 10 to 9. So, yeah, if you want to grab a pint there or a skateboard flight, then we're going to link to their information on our social media.
It's about time we get the first beer served up, boys.
Absolutely. Hang loose. All right, we are back from riding that wave.
Hang 10, brother.
Yeah. So a big thank you to Gavin from Prince Eddy's for supplying the beers on today's episode. Thank you.
Thank you, Gavin.
Hang loose, Kevin.
So the first beer we're having today is Brass Monkey. So this one comes in at 5% ABV and unlisted IBUs. So this beer was actually re-released this year in May for their 5th anniversary.
All right. So this beer is brewed with a Mandarina Bavaria hops and fresh orange zest. It is a hazy, citrusy, and guaranteed to be your new summer fling.
Oh my! We're all married men except for Frank. I don't know if we should have a new summer fling.
Yeah.
Maybe. I guess we'll see.
Are you suggesting you should have a new fling?
Well, maybe. I don't know.
All right.
Can I give you my answer in about 5 minutes?
Now, this beer is described kind of like a beer mosa.
Oh, I like that.
Apparently crushable. It might make you feel a little funky, which is weird because I don't think I ever want a summer fling to make me feel funky. But here we are nonetheless.
Interesting. Well, as always, on Untappd, you can follow us at Craft Beer Connoisseurs and on our Instagram at Craft Beer Cons. So, the overall rating for Brass Monkey on Untappd is 3.75 out of 5 with 312 check-ins. 241 of those come from the can, which we are drinking out of today with right on that 375, and 34 draft check-ins at 372. Now, there are 3 5 out of 5s. So, I guess 3 people had it become their new summer fling.
There you go. All right, so let's grab the can, let's grab the glass, and let's open her up. All right.
Well, we are pouring this, and we will be drinking it out of our pint glass. So make sure to use your proper glassware.
Now, guys, you're going to see me a little bit different the way that I handle this beer, and this will be coming up in the future. We've kind of teased it a little bit, but
It's a high school thing again.
no, it's not. It's not just the way that I'm going to smell the beer, and really kind of get that aromas in. Doing it a little different. There's a reason for it. We'll explain it later on in a future producer episode.
Absolutely.
That has got some good scent to it.
Yeah, I'm really picking up the orange zest out of it for sure.
absolutely.
There's a very nice oranginess, a little bit of pine in it, a little bit. I don't know if
And I
that's
believe that is the Mandarina Bavaria.
That's good.
You're looking about a 2-finger head.
Yeah, it's a nice head, and it definitely is hazy.
Yes, absolutely,
It's
I
described
agree.
as a hazy pale ale.
And you got your light up there, Producer Frank. What's Producer Frank seeing?
Yeah, I think Frank, what do you got there? Okay, so it again, it's you can't see through it because the haziness of it. It's kind of got this orange hue to it, if you will.
Yes.
There's a good word.
Yeah, I mean it's not a honey kind of look. It's more of I guess cantaloupe is green, honeydew melon.
No, honeydew is green.
Okay, so the
Cantaloupe is
cantaloupe.
orange.
Yeah, there we
I love
go.
how you had to look up in the air and look at the ceiling.
I had to
for a
think
second.
about that. I was like, I'm pretty sure
Think about
cantaloupe
that.
is good. Then I second guess myself. So it's kind of got a cantaloupe kind of look to it, if you will.
Yeah, definitely.
All right,
It
well-
looks really nice. Looks very appetizing.
Brett's been jonesing over here for one.
Okay,
So.
Yeah.
it looks nice.
You're thirsty.
Okay, should we see if it drinks nice?
Yeah,
let's do it.
absolutely.
Okay.
You guys take a sip there.
A little sippy poo poo?
Oh, I was going to stick away from it.
No.
I think you're coming along with it. I think you enjoy the sippy poo-poos. All right, you guys go ahead and talk. I'm going to take my sip now and see what I get.
That is nice and refreshing.
Yeah, that's very refreshing.
And right at the right temperature, cold.
Yeah.
Solid.
Just cold. That's my unit of measure. Cold. Yeah, it goes down so easily. Very smooth, minimal carbonation, but you still get the flavor. You definitely have that citrus flavor coming through.
It's got a nice smoothness to it, a little bit of a creaminess, haziness. On the back end, kind of a little that grapefruity, again, coming through. Again, grapefruit's not my number one fruit of all time. I don't have it very high, but yeah, I still like this beer. Definitely a beer that is crushable any time of the day.
Yeah, and there's like a tiny, tiny bit of bitterness at the very end, just a little hint of it.
I don't get the whole beer mosa thing. It's not like as citrusy as what they're kind of describing it as, but
Sure, yeah. I think this beer has got a really good mouthfeel throughout the whole entire
Soft mouthfeel,
sip.
yeah.
Right? It's really nice. It's almost velvety. That's kind of what I'm getting out of it. The citrus is there, And again, the orange zest smell, like the aroma of it, is coming through in the flavor profile. But I do get that bitterness as it tails off. And
It does linger a bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
But again, it settles nicely. I think it's a very well-balanced beer.
Well, and I agree with you, Brett, about I don't really get that beer mosa because the champagne that you have in a mimosa is very carbonated, and this beer does not have a lot of carbonation,
And you know
which
what?
makes it go down
I was
so
going
much
to say,
easier.
I'm okay with it not being a beer mosa.
Yeah.
Because I hate champagne. So
Oh, that's too bad.
I love champagne.
Yeah, me too.
brewed IPA, champagne yeast. Yeah, no.
Oh, that's awful. I do feel though, like the way that this is brewed based on the carbonation of it is giving me more sparkling. So it's not really champagne-y, but it does kind of have like a fizzle to it, if you will. And I think that's kind of what I'm getting as I let the beer sit in my mouth a little bit, is it still has like this continuation of carbonation while it's inside my mouth. And it's again, not huge sparkling, but it is more of a kind of a soft fizz, if you will.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Fair enough.
So let's move on to top 5 flavor profiles. Who wants to?
Yeah, I'll do that. So
Chris will take it. You pointed my way, but he took it. Go
all
ahead.
right.
Chris, it's your turn.
I didn't see that out of my peripherals.
Serve it up. Yeah.
So the first one is hazy. I mean, it looks hazy. Again, we kind of struggle with this one. I don't know that there's necessarily a hazy flavor, but
It is definitely a profile of the beer. And I think
Yes.
top 5, it should almost be like top 5 profiles of the beer, not
Yeah.
top 5 flavor profiles, if you know what I mean, right?
totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Number 2 is refreshing. I definitely
Yeah.
agree. This is refreshing.
Bingo.
Yeah, it's super refreshing. It's crushable, I feel like, right?
Oh,
Yes.
it definitely.
This is one of them dangerous beers. You could get a couple of those, and you're like, oh,
Yeah, but also
Boy.
not feel completely overwhelmed because
Yeah, exactly.
it is, 5%, right?
Yeah.
So it's not too bad.
There you go. Number 3 is grapefruity. So I don't necessarily get grapefruit specifically. I would probably replace this personally with citrus.
yeah. Producer Frank with a zesty,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's true
Which I can
too.
see that as well, yeah.
Number 4 is hoppy, which I know, we probably kind of want to, you teased it out a little bit, Tyler.
always tease it out.
Kind of want to stop using that term hoppy and be a bit more specific.
Of what kind of flavor profile you're getting from the hop, not just specifically giving a generalization of hoppy.
Right, which I think that would be citrusy.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And again, some of that orangeness might be coming from the hops as well, like that orange zest or orange peel. You can get that flavor profile done through a hop as well.
Yes.
Yeah, and number 5 is smooth. So
Yeah,
I
this
definitely agree.
is a smooth beer.
Yeah, it speaks to the mouthfeel, I think at least.
Yeah.
And again, it's throughout the whole sip, right?
Absolutely.
This is going down really well.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Now we've talked about the 5 flavor profiles. Let's move on to the untapped user thoughts on this one. Brett, you take the first one. How about?
Yes, so this one comes from Thomas, and the handle is Sarenput. On June 22nd, stated, the hops played together so well. Fireworks, like Katie would say.
Oh.
Like, I feel as though it's a Katy Perry reference, and I'm missing it.
Oh, that's a good.
Like, baby,
yeah.
it's a firework.
You said you're missing it?
Yeah.
I think you
Well,
got
it sounds like you got it.
Yeah, I know the song, but it's like there's more of like a play on words that maybe I'm missing. I
No,
don't
you're
know.
right. What you got is what you got.
Okay, 4.5 out of 5.
Nice.
Katy Perry approves this beer.
Well, the second one comes from Mark R. 3-second chug is Mark's handle. On June 2nd said, nice light pale ale. Mark gave it a 3.5 out of 5. However, not sure how accurate this rating is if he chugged it in 3 seconds.
Yes. We were talking about that earlier offline in terms of like some people who drink quickly and some people who like kind of nurse the beer, if you will.
Yeah.
Mark R., not a nurser.
No. Big chugger.
Yes.
3-second chug.
Yes.
Well, in
that
terms
seems to
of,
be 3 seconds seems to be his thing.
wow. In terms of our ratings, why don't you get us started, Brett? What are you thinking about this one?
Should I do this rating in 3 seconds or no?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Frank's got his abacus out here, and hopefully we can get this working.
So yeah, again, I really big fan of this beer. Smooth, hoppy, with the citrus involved. 4.25 is what I'm going to give this one. Tyler, yourself.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to give this a 4.25 as well. I think it's really well done. Crushable, very smooth throat, and good flavor profile.
Yeah, I was toggling between 4 and 4.25, but you guys have swayed me, so I'm going to go 4.25 as well. Producer Frank is
Not swayed.
No,
he's on the other side of the net.
It's a 3 against 1, and he's coming in with a 3.75 overall for himself. Sorry.
Yes, and now he's kind of really arguing a call here, but that gives us a team overall score of 4.125. So should we round up to 4.25 since technically we do have 3.425s?
Wow, great job on that one. I think, that's what we do. So let's make it a 4.25 for the 4 of us.
All right, shall we move on to beer number 2?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, and we are back, and the second beer we're having today is Sweet Talk, which is double IPA brewed with honey, lactose, and vanilla. Now, this beer is 8% ABV, and again, the IBUs are unlisted, but that's okay because we don't need them. We got 8% ABV.
You would try to sweet talk me with beer.
Well, you mentioned honey. This beer is made with 400 pounds of local honey from Sandbanks bees, and it's combining a juice bomb with an insane amount of honey, a touch of vanilla, and a dose of lactose. So it gets smaller as we go.
A dose of lactose.
Good rhyming.
I like that.
So the end result is going to give you aromas of caramelized pineapple and wild honey, met with a soft mouthfeel at first sip. Then the dive in to the delicious hive of marshmallow, nectarine, and honey graham cracker, orange creamsicle, and a well-rounded grapefruity finish.
Wow. Boy. There's a lot going on with this.
This sounds good.
Hey, and I didn't screw that line up, and I said it in a nice, very non-monotone fashion.
That was good. Hey, good for you. We're proud of you. And the thing is because it's supposed to be really well layered, I hope that comes through. I hope there's a nice combination of all that stuff. I like marshmallows, nectarines, honey graham crackers, orange creamsicles. Grapefruity, we'll see.
Yeah.
All right.
You win some, you lose some.
Bingo.
So on Untappd for this beer, there's 143 check-ins with a 3.95 rating. There's also actually a second beer listed by the same name. I guess someone took the liberty of creating it for some reason. And
they were too busy doing something else.
Yeah, there you
go.
That one has 4 check-ins with an average of 4.31. So obviously only 4, including one 5 out of 5.
Maybe they were the one that actually added it. Did you check? Said, hey, you know what? I really want to go on my own on this one.
It's so good, I have to put it on.
The queen bee, if you will.
So the other one, the proper listing, we'll say, also has one 5 out of 5.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
All right.
Good enough.
Let's grab the can. Let's grab the glass. And let's open her up. All right, here comes the pour.
Oh, lovely sound. Well, we are, of course, drinking this double IPA out of an IPA glass, so make sure to use your proper glassware.
Now, may I add here that the IPA glass is reminiscent of a beehive due to the the location where you would put your hand. Reminds me of a beehive. Thoughts?
Far away.
No, I just because it's ridge, right?
They taught you the wrong thing in high school.
No. You know it. The ridgeness of this IPA
but I never
glass.
stuck my hand in a beehive or
No,
around a
it's
beehive.
the exterior portion of a beehive is ridged. Come on.
I've never really been around a beehive. I will say,
and
though,
it shows.
in regards to IPAs, it's actually been a while since we've had an IPA on the podcast. Actually, since the London Co-op episode in the middle of April.
Wow.
And it's been a while since I've probably talked about the can.
Okay.
Because I didn't do it in the first one.
No, you didn't do it the first one.
Well, the first one was a little, basic. This one's got something cool on it. So it is actually a bee fist bumping a bear.
Nice.
Hang 10, bro.
Yeah, literally. I feel as though there's some sweet talking. Maybe the bee wants to get a little busy with the bear. I don't know. But
that's unbelievable.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, it's nice to see that the bear is practicing safe protection.
He does have the eyewear on.
Does have the eye
Proper
goggles on.
eyewear. He also
It's just role play.
Looks like he has a tattoo on his shoulder that says,
"Oh, you know why?
Drippy," because he works for Prince Eddy's.
Prince Eddy's.
Yeah.
Maybe his second job looking for Fast Eddies. It's a tough climate out there in 2022.
It is really cool can art, and we did see again with the previous beer, it did follow a very similar kind of vibe in terms of the semi monochromatic look.
Look very similar, like the Town Brewery's kind of can art as well.
Yeah.
That we had on earlier this year. Anyway, let's talk about the beer instead of
we
a
haven't really
bear and a
got to
bee.
that. So color wise, what are you guys picking up on the color? What are you guys getting on the sniffer?
Very similar to the first one in terms of color. That same haziness.
Yeah, a little bit more. I'd say
A little bit of that beer went my nose. Jesus.
Oh wow, a little lighter in the kind of like an apricot color.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. More, I guess, honey looking. No?
Definitely
Yeah,
good.
I can see the honey in it. Now the head retention on this one, I'm a little surprised because we said this is a double IPA, right?
It is. Yeah.
I assumed maybe we'd get a little bit more head retention, and maybe that's not the case on the way that I poured it. But we'll see. Hopefully, some.
Well, we
lacing
were
as
also a
go
little
through.
busy talking about the birds and the bees or bears and bees or whatever. And, I kind of had like a 2-finger head. Now I'm down to like pretty much a half.
Yeah, that's what I'm
finger.
saying. The retention of it
Yeah.
didn't really, it didn't linger.
It dissipated very quickly.
Yeah.
But
Right.
It smells great. It smells like a nice IPA. I'm not getting, personally anyways, a ton of honey off the nose. So hopefully that
I feel
comes
it's going to
through
be
on
on
the
taste.
taste.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, shall we?
Yeah, we shall.
All right, let's go ahead.
All right, let's take a little.
I will talk first.
Oh, yeah,
That way
do
everybody's
that.
allowed to have a little sip of the beer. Producer Frank really getting busy over there with the beer. That's enough bee jokes for me. I'm going to drink it now.
Yeah. Okay. So my first original thought is this is 8%. In no way, shape, or form at this time am I getting a heavy boozy flavor, which is kind of nice. Still getting some of the citrus, kind of the normal expectation you would probably get from an IPA. In terms of honey, probably a little bit more actually on the back end now.
Yes.
I was just, you know what, I was going to prejudge it just based off that very first sip, and as I was talking, it really started to come through a little bit more, and maybe that's just where it hit my tongue. So that's where I'm at. Is I am starting to get honey more on the back end, which kind of pulls me away from the IPA aspect because it is very heavy forward.
Yes. And
On
I'm
the back
also
end, sorry.
on the back end getting, with the honey, vanilla. I'm getting quite a bit of that vanilla
Yeah, okay.
flavor.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely getting the marshmallow, vanilla, lactose.
Marshmallow, I forgot about that. Yeah.
The orange creamsicle definitely coming through hard for me, at least.
Yeah.
The honey, as you said, Tyler, it's pretty much on the back end. It's also, in my personal opinion, kind of tough to brew with honey. Very sticky, right, in terms of how it's done. But
Have you brewed with honey before?
many times. Yeah, and so I like it. Very much so.
Yeah,
I'm liking this.
I'm getting more of that orange creamsicle as I get through the beer, and I
Yeah.
hope that kind of stays around a little bit. Again, the honey's there, but I am starting to get more of that lactose. It's pretty crisp. I like it.
It drinks pretty heavy though. Like, yes, you don't get the booze aspect of it, but I think just with the amount of stuff that's happening within the beer in terms of the marshmallow, lactose, the vanilla, the honey, it's you can't have any more than one. of these.
It's
You
like a
can't-
heavy body,
yes,
right?
exactly, very
Yeah.
heavy body.
Yeah, there's
kind of like myself, very heavy body.
Well, there's a lot of stuff in it, so you're right, and that's what contributes to the heavy body. But this is like, you mentioned, Tyler, it's not boozy like maybe a typical double IPA. It's not very bitter at all. Like, there's almost no bitterness to this beer, which is really nice. And I'm sure that's because of the vanilla, and the honey is really mellowing that bitterness out.
Yes.
Like, this is a really well done beer.
And I feel bad because, producer Frank and Tyler are distracted in an argument about something. I don't know what they're arguing about. I think it might be the Blue Jays. In terms I don't know if we need a reliever or a left-handed bat in the lineup. I feel as though their argument is now over. Somebody has one. Don't know who.
No arguments at all. I just Frank sometimes gets a little distracted, and we need to just hone him back in. Say, hey, this is a beer podcast.
You know what? Producer Frank zones out a bit.
A little bit. We know what? We're glad to have him back, and that's what matters the most. I don't think I have anything additional to add to the flavor of the beer at this time. I think if we could jump to the top 5 flavor profiles, I'll lead the way on that if you guys don't mind. And as I get through this, you know what, we might be able to see if any of those other flavors kind of change. And Producer Frank, if you're with us, by all means, if you have anything that you want to add, just yell it.
I'm just checking in here from the ear. Producer Frank is with us. Yes.
All right, top 5 flavor profiles. Let's start with number 1. Creamy.
Yep, it's got a lot of cream in here.
Yeah.
Would it be your number 1?
To me, no, it would not be number 1.
Not number 1, but 2 or 3. Yeah.
Okay. Frank says now.
I believe it was nah.
Number 2, sweet.
Yes, there is sweetness, but that's coming from the honey.
Yeah,
obviously.
Honey.
Yep. 3, vanilla.
Yeah, I'm getting the vanilla.
That'd be number 1 for me personally.
Yeah, it might be for me too. After a few more sips of it,
the more I drink through it, I'm getting more of that vanilla, and it is coming more of that orange creamsicle.
I'd be interested
kind of
to see if they did a version of this beer without the honey.
That'd be
right.
Yeah.
Right.
And almost kind of
would change
up that lactose, up that vanilla kind of profile in it.
Like an orange creamsicle milkshake IPA. I don't know.
Not bad.
It'll be all right. Anyway, keep going.
4, citrus.
Yeah, like
the front end.
On the front end there is citrus, but not as much as you would necessarily get from a typical IPA, right?
Yeah, that citrus is dominating the front end, and then as it gets further down the swallow, then that marshmallow, that lactose is definitely taking over, and the vanilla as well.
Fair enough. And then number 5 is the main ingredient, I would say, is honey.
Yeah.
I actually think the main ingredient was water, but honey was involved.
The main adjunct is honey.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good job.
I honestly, personally, I would probably put honey at the top, followed by vanilla.
And I feel as though now Tyler and I are going to be in an argument offline about things. Tyler's just an arguing kind of guy tonight. Anyway.
Wow. Yeah, I would agree with you, Chris. Either the vanilla or the honey, and I would almost use those interchangeable. Whether it's 1A, 1B.
Yeah.
All right.
But I think these top 5 are spot on.
Spot on, yes.
Yep.
So speaking of what other people think from Untapped, whew,
there it is.
yeah, there it is.
Yep.
Tyler, you had the first one.
I do. Clear my throat for this one because I think it deserves it. The name is Joe M. The handle is Joziu9, Joziu9. On May 30th, states the following: pineapple orange juice punch. You could probably get me to anything after 3 or 4 of these.
To do anything, I believe, is what that's supposed to say.
Maybe. It's typo. Quite refreshing despite the ABV and thickness. 4 to 5, 4.5 out of 5 for Joe. Now, with this one here is, I didn't really get a whole lot of the pineapple aspect of it.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
And as well as the thickness. I actually thought this was relatively smooth, but not overwhelming, right? Like, I didn't feel like it was a very thick beer in comparison to the last one that we had.
And definitely quite refreshing despite the ABV, though. That one I will definitely give.
Sure.
It's 8%, but very, very refreshing. Again, could get dangerous if we get into a second one, but...
Oh, definitely. Speaking of second ones, second review comes from John C. John Collins, FSLR is the handle. John on May 22nd said, loved this. Doesn't taste as strong as 8% suggests. Honey is very present, but not oversweet with the right balance of hop. John gave it a 4.75 out of 5.
There you go.
Yeah.
Chris, what are you going to give it then?
Well, so as our listeners may remember, I am a big fan of honey. When we did our gin episode, I did make a drink with honey. So I'm really liking the honey in this one. This is really good. I'm giving it a 4.75.
Oh, my goodness. 4.75. I
thought we were going to see one.
Wow.
For myself, it's pretty good.
It is pretty good.
I am actually right in line with Chris in terms of giving it a 4.75. The only reason I'm not giving it a 5 is just because I thought I would see a little bit more honey coming through. Wow. But other than that, it is a phenomenal double IPA.
I guess there must have been too much water. Got him. All right, so for myself, I think this is a really good beer. I think they did a fantastic job with it. I'm going to go ahead and give it a 4. And producer Frank Latank is going to...
Oh, no, Francais, Latank.
Yeah. I did. The Frank the Tank follows the brewery aspect for sure. I like that. Is also going to be giving it a 4.
Nice. Well, overall, that's going to give us a team score of 4.375, which we will round up to a 4.5.
Round it up.
Yes. Yeah. And that's going to conclude the review of Prince Eddy and the beers that they had provided for us for today's episode. Both very, very good.
Absolutely. So coming up, some beer destinations we'd like to visit.
Well, so since Prince Eddy's is located in Prince Edward County, as we've mentioned, which has become a destination for people in Ontario and people seeking the perfect Instagram picture.
And that's probably because Prince Edward Island is a little too far.
Yeah. For people in Ontario, yes, it is. So this is because of the camping, the beaches, the wineries.
How many are there?
There's 29 wineries.
You and your wife could have a lovely time.
Yeah, that would be a nice time.
I'd love to go with you.
The cideries, the distilleries, the breweries, there's at least 10.
Producer Frank says there's a couple bangers in there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And, of course, the restaurants. So we thought we would talk about, kind of what our beer-related destinations that we'd want to visit are. So we'll start with Frank. As previously mentioned, he did visit Picton last summer, hit up all the craft breweries in the area, so all 10 of them.
Because it's a lot easier to hit 10 breweries than it is to hit 29 wineries.
Yeah, that's true. And he would definitely go back to Picton. So,
is he inviting Frank? Are you inviting us, Frank?
Is that a Prince Edward County invite?
I actually just I don't know if he instinctually did this, but it was a left to right hand shake.
He's like, absolutely not.
No.
You know what's easier for your head to go up and down, right? Yeah. Up and down. It's all easier.
No, come on now.
All right. Well, Frank also went to Ottawa this year to visit his, he says girlfriend, sister. I think he means fiance.
Yeah. He does mean fiance. Yeah. Future bride-to-be, I believe, is the term.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that is correct.
So he did some sightseeing there, hit up some breweries in Canada and Ottawa. He also went over the border into Quebec, was nice enough to pick up some beers for us. I've been, kind of feasting on those for the last little while.
It's almost like Frank. He hit the couple breweries that I went to previously. It's almost like I gave him the itinerary to go in places.
Yeah. Well, so in terms of...
That's going to come up later. I love this.
Oh, yes, it is, for sure.
In terms of my list, the reason I mentioned, Frank's trip to Ottawa is I would definitely want to do that Ottawa trip as well. And, more than just Ottawa, go over to Gatineau, hit the Quebec breweries as well, because I've enjoyed the beers I've had from there. But there's, a lot of breweries in Ottawa. So I definitely have that on my list, especially in terms of, Canadian destinations that are easy to get to.
Just so you know, Chris, when you go to Gatineau, go to this place called the Brew Haha.
Yeah.
What a time. Let me tell you. That is all.
Well, what do you got, Brett?
What do I have? So I think I've kind of had this plan in the works for a little bit. And when I have some time off towards...
When you have some time off? Okay, go on.
When don't you have time off?
Well, tell us when you work.
I got to go to work tomorrow.
Very good.
And for the rest of the week. Anyway. So, Prince Edward County has kind of been on my list of places to go. And I feel as though it's been a couple things where, like, I've kind of got a couple places, and then the producer Frank's like, "Oh, that sounds like a good time. I should go there." So I feel as though I should play like, I didn't choose it. My wife did in terms of Nashville. Just saying, but
Yeah, Nashville. I was going to say.
Yeah, I was going to say Nashville.
Nashville
Producer
is
Frank's
on- I
chiming
was
real
gonna mention
quickly.
it up, but-
So that had nothing to do with me, actually. It seriously
I feel
did
like
not.
your relationship and his relationship are very similar, and I love that for you guys.
Yes, it's great. Anyway, so I feel as though I might play like reverse Uno card on him and go to Prince Edward County for during the time I'm off in the summer.
Well, I know Frank's not taking you.
Oh, God, no. God, no. Yeah, me and producer Frank in a carpool does not work well together.
Yep.
Another place that I'm thinking, I shouldn't say thinking, but the plan is to go. I've been to BC. I'd love to go back. I also have one of my good friends who I actually saw a couple of days ago because he's just home visiting his family. He's in Edmonton. In terms of Edmonton and Calgary, there's a lot of really good breweries in Alberta that I think I'd love to get out to. And I keep telling him, like, I need to get out and see you, and I never do. So
Great friend
I
you
feel
are.
as though, yeah, I know, I'm a great friend. So I feel as though maybe the wintertime or something like that, I will get out and visit some breweries out in Alberta and see him because he knows his way. He's a big craft beer guy, too, so he's going to give me the little tour.
Why don't you shut him out?
Jake Patterson, how's it going?
Jake,
good to
what
see
a
you.
boy. Love, Jake's a beauty. I
Yeah,
like
he is a freaking beauty for sure.
What do you got, Tyler?
Yeah, actually, just to kind of dovetail off that, it's not listed on my thing, but we are taking a trip to Calgary at the end of August. So,
You got room for a
nice.
third?
unless you can fit in the carry-on, which I don't think you can.
I can fit underneath. I might just
there
get
we go.
lost. Be picked up for 4 days.
We are doing a trip out to Calgary,
Nice.
and we'll see what we can do for you boys for that. So the first one that I actually have listed here is Flagstaff, Arizona. So kind of a little bit off the beaten path. I always said, just from a personal standpoint, if I was ever going to get rental properties, it'd be probably in Florida and Arizona. Flagstaff has the Flagstaff Brew. Ha ha!
Oh,
Stayin.
Which is
I
a
got
beer-
to know in Flagstaff.
There
Who
you
could have
go,
thought?
which is a beer tasting event representing more than 60 local, regional, and national brewers. And it happens every January, which is a perfect excuse to leave the cold of Canada and head down to Flagstaff, Arizona.
I can book some vacation.
There you go.
Yeah,
Hey,
you definitely could.
listen, I'll get a rental property and you guys can come. I'll allow that, even you, Frank. The other one I have is kind of a twofer. Victoria, BC for the West Coast and St. John's, Newfoundland for the
How's it going, Skip?
Skip, my boy.
Yeah, Skip. All right, coming back to me, I guess. Venturing to the U.S., I would love to go to Denver, Colorado. So there are about over 100 breweries in Denver and the greater Denver area.
Yep.
So apparently Frank had an emergency layover in Denver once, coming home from California. He sat at the Breckenridge Brewery location in the airport for hours. And he has raved about the beers. He won't
Good
shut
on
up
Breckenridge to have a brewery in the airport.
about them. Yeah.
Because
yeah.
producer Frank needed some liquid courage.
Yeah.
And he's just chiming in here and saying that 7 a.m. in the morning, he was down in some pints.
Wow.
A couple of them breakfast beers, if you will.
Well, as they say, in airports, it's basically, it's not even
It's a free-for-all.
resembling civilization. It's just, do whatever you want. So also for Frank, he would like to go back to Grand Rapids, Michigan, because he went there before without Untapped. So, the beer's
Producer
on
Frank,
Untapped,
I remember asking, what's a stout? Now, big fan. Just saying.
man.
We just need to get that 98 caravan back. It's almost like the Prince Eddy's in terms of, have you seen, look at their website, like the old style vans in terms of how they promote it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just need to get one of those going.
Well, a couple more for me. So, Asheville, North Carolina seems again kind of random, off the beaten path, but it's a small town, over 30 breweries.
A lot of lists I
there.
looked at, I said the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I believe Untapped's headquarters are in Asheville, North Carolina.
I believe that's correct.
And also, this is less of a destination from a city perspective, but a brewery, Treehouse in Charlton, Massachusetts. It's about an hour west of Boston. It is, let me just pull up the stats here
I'm
for you
saying,
guys.
like, you hate Boston? Or?
Boston.
No,
You said,
I'm
like,
just-
it's more about the brewery than the town I'd actually go visit.
well, it's an hour away from
So
Boston.
you and Frank both put this on your list.
Yes, we did. So on Untapped, they have a 4.34 average rating in 597 beers and over 6 million check-ins. So I think
So
they're
apparently
pretty good.
they know what the hell they're doing, or they're paying a lot of people to get
I
them
was
on
just
tap.
going to say,
Generated on
sometimes
tap.
that might just be clout, and the snowball has gone down the hill and
Fair,
keeps up.
and they
But
also
for sure, I
they
think they're
don't
doing good stuff.
They don't sell their beer outside of the brewery, so you can
Yeah.
only get it at the brewery.
Yeah.
So I would love to go there.
Very good.
A couple more for myself.
What do you got?
I know it's kind of sounds weird, but I'd love to go to England, Ireland, Germany, and just do a nice tour of traditional old school beers.
Yeah, for
Old
sure.
school breweries,
Yeah.
everything like that. I'm sure my wife would not like to do that at all. But
Oh, guess what?
So for the boys, let's go. But anyway, that's
You
kind
would
of like
so not be allowed.
not a chance in hell. So I'll probably just go to my local watering holes instead of travel 5,000 miles to go to their watering holes.
There you go.
Tyler, yourself?
Yeah, so I'll finish these up on my own here. So Portland, Oregon. Actually, going back to kind of what you said about Denver, Colorado, is there's more breweries than any other city, which is 85 in the metro area. So I think yours kind of including Denver, which is metro as well, like the surrounding area.
Yeah, like Breckenridge, for example, which Frank mentioned, is like 2 hours away from
Right.
Denver.
So Portland actually has 85 in the metro area, which
I've never had a desire to go to Portland, but now I do.
Listen, I think there's two there. I think we go to Portland and we can drink some beers, and then we could also see the Oregon softball team.
Oh, I thought you were
Or
gonna
a
say-
Portland Trailblazers
Ducks.
game.
Thought you were going to say
No.
go up to Vancouver, but
We
Seattle's in between. You could probably
Well,
do that.
true,
Stop
yeah.
in between.
Yeah.
Kind of like what you said, Munich, Germany for Oktoberfest, I think would be an absolute highlight. And if anybody says, "Hey, let's go on this trip," I'm pretty much going to be locked in. If I can get the time off and it works out in my schedule, I would say yes to anybody. Mark that.
That's a high school reference. He said yes to anybody in high school.
It's true. It's too bad your sister is too old. Additionally, we also have for the bonus San Francisco, California. And this kind of blends a little bit of two worlds here because in San Francisco, they actually have a Alcatraz and a walking craft beer combo tour, which is. You guys good?
we're recovering.
I don't think I've laughed that hard in a long time.
Yeah, you're recovering. That's something else that was said in fucking high school. Anyways, the Alcatraz and Walking Craft Beer combo tour. So you get to see the prison as well as you get to do this Walking Craft Beer tour. So
Well, trust me, if you no, I'm not going to go there.
Yeah,
There's something with
I
my
know what
prison
you're
and my
saying.
sister
Yep,
in
yep.
there involved.
oh no! All right, let's
If that happened, I'm putting you in prison for sure. At least I'm going to prison.
There we go. All right. Does anybody have anything else you want to say about?
Oh, I think we ended on that. Jesus Christ.
All right, no other destinations.
We got to collect ourselves here.
All right, we're gonna be right back with our farewell. All right, and that's going to be it for today's episode.
Thank you again for listening. Keep on listening every other Thursday as Craft Beer Connoisseurs releases a new episode, and on our off Thursdays for a producer special.
Make sure to tell your friends, family, and your favorite volleyball player that plays level A. I'm looking for some people on my volleyball team this year.
Jesus. All right, so for producer Frank, I'm Tyler.
I'm Chris.
I'm Brett.
And together, we're the Craft Beer Connoisseurs.